Dearest beloved divine friends, family, brothers and sisters, in the raw, RK's Guyana Free Media, and I'm your friend, your brother, Haji Dr. Roshan Khan, in the raw. I have on a headline here, well, not really a headline, a page headline, page 3 of the Catch Your News of June 23rd. That is today, the Attorney General sues Ferguson over claims of voter ID fraud. Well, I guess it is the policy of do for do na obia, as we have a tendency of saying in Guyana, that simply because they've been filing lots of lawsuits themselves and being very illogical in those lawsuits. For example, who wouldn't know that a lawsuit to do with the election petition challenging the vote and also in reality the decision to swearing a government and the attorney that would have filed that case knowing that they would have lost to try to create a national chaos. And so much of other lawsuits going on, my divine, beloved friends and families. So lawsuit upon lawsuit, Guyana has become such a litigious society that it's ridiculous and even scary to a point. Let us look at this article here. Attorney General sues Ferguson over claims of voter ID fraud. Now, when this thing was going on, I recall my sister, former Minister of Human Services, having gone there to confront Anil Nandalan, saying that, boy, your name a call, and they can't produce an evidence. Just somebody wanted to create some maniac of the political party that was the government at that time. And believe me, we have maniacs everywhere. We even have maniacs in the current political party leading the country as well, in fairness. And they were accusing Anil Nadalal of giving people ID cards, going into their pocket and giving ID cards. Well, you know, ladies and gentlemen, people has to be really dense, as Guyanese parlor would say, dunce. Because when you can't go with any ID card, you can't go with any, just go vote. You have a photograph in there. You have an ID card that goes with your photograph and your bio. So it was so ridiculous. And then they tried to create a scene, hoping that somehow or the other that in a PPP stronghold would hold some kind of a fiat for them. Not in Sophia and in Charlestown and Alabaistown, where their supporters are more. They want to go in the Indian area, so to say. Why? I don't know. It was totally illogical and irrelevant. And always, somehow or the other, trying to bring in some kind of a skullduggery and even ethnicity. Very sad indeed. In this country, we don't need such things. Now, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Anil Nandalal, Senior Counsel, has initiated legal proceedings against former Minister of Housing and a Partnership for National Unity and Alliance for Change Member of Parliament, Annette Ferguson, claiming in excess of $20 million worth of damages for libel. According to the statement of claim, Honorable Nandalal is seeking in excess of $10 million for damages and in excess of $10 million for aggravated damages on the basis that Ferguson on March 22, 2020 openly slandered him by accusing him of voter identification fraud. Nadalal has also requested an injunction to ban Ferguson and her staff or servants from further making any such statements. According to the documents filed, Nandalal said that Ferguson accused him of taking part in the illegal distribution of identification cards, ID, during the March 2nd, 2020 general and regional elections. He said Ferguson made the statement at a roundtable discussion hosted by the European Union Observer Team on March 21st, 2021 at the Artichoke Conference Center. I must say at this time, ladies and gentlemen, but there is an old policy in law, corpus delicti. You have to bring me the evidence. And there was no evidence, just nonsensical talking, so to say. Just an accusation, somehow or the other, they thought. And so internationally, they've maligned the man and it's caused him great distress and pain and suffering. And so I think Anil Nandalal has to be compensated under the circumstances. According to the case drafted by the law firm Satram and Satram that is representing the AG in the matter, Ferguson is quoted as saying, "You have people who are sitting in this room that were found distributing ID cards for elections day. Not the APNU AFC, it is," and we have to go to page 23. It is the Attorney General, the very Attorney General, who was found distributing ID cards in the lower East Coast Demerara corridor. In a document to support her case, Nandalal said, that he believes Ferguson is intended to suggest that he committed a criminal and electoral offense, one that is punishable by law. In the circumstances, the Attorney General said that he believed that his reputation was seriously harmed. I think so too, Mr. Attorney General and people of Guyana. He claimed too, he has suffered considerable hurt and embarrassment, distress and anxiety. I agree. Honorable Anil Nandalal. Nandalal therefore asked that the court grant him the award amounting to the excess of $20 million, as well as the injunctive relief to ban Ferguson or anyone acting on her behalf from causing him any further distress. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what is wrong with these people. They've committed so many ridiculous offenses. They even made accusations against me and tried to have me thrown out of the Ethnic Relations Commission by setting fake protests, going on television. Well, not former Minister Ferguson, but there was a masterminder, the warlord, who was behind it all, and pushing people to try to humiliate, embarrass me, even writing the Honorable Prime Minister and what's not, and nobody ever even bothered with him because of his ludicrous claims. Friends and family, your brother me, Haji, Dr. Roshan Khan, in the raw, RK's Guyana Free Media.